The following post is a work of fiction created for entertainment purposes within the video game universe of College Football 26. All characters, events, and storylines, including Coach Clay Stonewall Merritt, Frankie the Horn Calderon, and the UTSA Roadrunners, are entirely fictional and not affiliated with the NCAA, UTSA, or any real institutions. We are here, ladies and gentlemen, week 5 of the Rise of the Roadrunners series. Myself, Jimmy Pilato, your in-studio host, setting the stage for the 5th installment of this series, where we're seeing Coach Clay Stonewall Merritt, the Colorado native. He was able to survive his home state last weekend, taking on the Mountain West foe, CSU Rams, winning that game 28-21 after really dominating the opening month of the season. Besides that one showing, it was the first time that this team has been tested with adversity, true adversity, where they were wondering if they were going to be able to come out on top. And of course, we all know they were able to pull out that victory in spite of the 86-yard pick six thrown by Owen McCown on that fourth quarter drive. They were able to rally. They were able to stay calm. Stonewall stoicism is starting to shine through with these players. And Robert Henry Jr., even though he didn't have the production numbers-wise, was able to get the final touchdown to seal the game and a victory 28-21 last week, making the Roadrunners 4-0 heading into their conference opener in the American Conference, this time traveling to Philadelphia and Lincoln Financial Field. There we will meet the Temple Owls, still searching for their first victory on the season. In preparation for this game, obviously, you go through the blogs on feotbpod.org. Make sure that you're following at feotbpod. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. That's where we will be going tonight to Philadelphia and Lincoln Financial Field to listen to Frankie the Horn Calderon call the action on 94.3 The Bird and the Far End of the Bench YouTube channel. We talked to Coach Clay Stonewall Merritt, and he had this to say following last week's close victory. We didn't play perfect, but we played together, and that's how you survive on the road. That's how you keep rising. If anyone was sitting there expecting this UTSA season after the massive upset in week 1 of Texas A&M 49-3 in Kyle Field in College Station, you come back home the following week and you put the beat down on your in-state rival, avenging the worst loss in program history and reasserting your dominance in the I-35 rivalry series, beating Texas State 58-0. You follow that up with a 68-0 domination of a Maryland Big Ten wannabe, and we thought that things were going to be smooth sailing. What have we said throughout this series? You do not control the storm and the seas. You control how you steer the ship. Well, the seas got pretty rough. This week we should have a pretty decent ability to get back to business. The Temple Owls are coming into this matchup 0-4, having lost to UMass 31-23. The FCS East All-Stars 52-50. Obviously, that did not go as planned. They lost to number 7, Oklahoma, 38-17, and last week took a beating in Atlanta to Georgia Tech, 52-7. Evan Simon, redshirt senior quarterback for the Temple Owls, had a rough outing in his last matchup. He's looking to bounce back. He's going to have to go up against a top 15 overall defense, and their offense for the Temple Owls is going to have to combat this number 1 run defense in America. The Southwest Sac Exchange did not produce to the level that they wanted to against CSU. Give Colorado State and the Rams offensive line credit. Fowler Nicolosi, the quarterback, for getting the ball out, and the receivers for being ready. But this weekend, we're expecting big things from Cameron Blaylock, Kyan Roberts-Day, Turner off the edge, Vic Shaw, and then obviously the big linebackers, Kendrick Blackshire and Chad Banks Jr. Secondary has been good. We'll see if they're able to make a play here and there and give the ball back to this offense. We know this offense has the ability to score. Last week, even though they scored 4 touchdowns, and that is their lowest point total on the season, we know that this offense is explosive. They have McEwen on the outside. They have DeCorian Clark. They have David Amador II, who is announcing himself as a true, you'll call him gadget in college football and this college football 26 universe. We are very excited. We have Roadrunner football back here on the Far End of the Bench YouTube channel and 94.3 The Bird. We send it out live to Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania for the matchup of the UTSA Roadrunners and the Temple Owls. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You are here on 94.3 The Bird as well as the Far End of the Bench YouTube channel with Frankie the Horn Calderon. We are ready for Roadrunner football, Bird Nation. We went on the road last week. We survived a very close, hard-fought game against Colorado State Rams. Give that team and Coach Jay Norvell a whole hell of a lot of credit for what they were able to do to what has been probably one of the most dominant teams this country has seen so far this season. The UTSA Roadrunners now going back on the road, opening up their conference schedule in the American against the 0-4 Temple Owls. The Owls will be searching for their first victory after taking losses to ranked opponents, unranked opponents, teams that they brought in that they should have been able to beat. Evan Simon, this Owl offense, has not been able to get in rhythm. We've seen UTSA, what they are capable of. Robert Henry Jr. already in double-digit touchdown territory on the season, only 4 weeks in. And obviously Owen McCowan and Devin McEwen, two juniors trying to make a name for themselves, along with redshirt senior DeCorian Clark on the outside. Temple has won the toss, and they will kick off to open up this matchup. And that one will bounce a few yards deep in the end zone and go through the back of the end zone. And we are getting ready for the Birds' first offensive series, presented by the Far End of the Bench podcast with Jimmy Pilato and Nico Bryant. Coach Clay Stonewall Merritt said of last week's performance, it was not a perfect game, but they stayed together, they stayed calm, and that's how you went on the road. Let's see if they're able to put two road victories together. Robert Henry Jr. will take the opening carry of this game and go about 3 yards ahead, bringing up a 2nd down and 7. The Roadrunners in their patented spread formation. Amador II is the slot receiver lined up to the left side. Henry Jr. gets another handoff, and after being stymied for a majority of last week's game, already gaining enough yardage for a UTSA first down. Two tight ends in the formation for McCown. He's going to hand it off once again. Henry Jr., the sole proprietor of this first opening drive here, and it's very clear to see Coach Clay Stonewall Merritt wants to go back to basics. He felt like his team got a little bit ahead of their skis and probably put themselves in situations that were not favorable, and he does not want to do that to themselves this week. Amador II and DeCorian Clark split out twins to the left. Play action fake. We're going to see where McCown goes. He takes a deep shot. That's to Amador II on the crossing pattern. Catch is made, 30 yards gained on the first completion. And this Roadrunner offense has been very balanced all season, even though they've had breakout performances from both the running back and then the quarterback positions. Amador II is one of those guys that was flying under the radar in the offseason. If you listen to shows like the Alamo Audible, you would know that he is something to be reckoned with. As now Henry Jr. out of the pistol formation is only going to be able to make it back to the line of scrimmage. That time, junior linebacker Eric Stewart of the Temple defense getting his first tackle of the day. Roadrunners set up 2nd and 10 from the 18-yard line. Trying to put the first points of this game on the board. That one pass to Henry Jr. He's going to make it into the end zone. Touchdown, Roadrunners. Sixth-year senior Robert Henry Jr. making an impact, getting into the end zone last weekend to seal the victory, opening up scoring in the American Conference opener. And this NFL stadium is gone quiet. Number 37, Brock Chambers, on for the extra point. And it is up and good. 6 plays, 74 yards, 1:12 time of possession. That touchdown drive presented by feotvpod.org here on 94.3 The Bird. Thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure you check out the Far End of the Bench podcast with Jimmy Pilato and Nico Bryant every Thursday, as they will be breaking down all sports, not just college football, as this one fielded about a yard deep in the end zone. Temple going to take it directly up the middle of the hash marks and make it to the 17-yard line. Temple has a pair of seniors in the backfield. Ducker at running back, Evan Simon at quarterback. Simon, we mentioned, took a beating against Georgia Tech. The entire team took a beating. That game ended 52-7 in the final score. Only able to muster 115 yards passing on less than 40% completion, with more more interceptions than touchdowns. We'll see what Temple is able to do as Ducker lines up, split to the left side. He'll get the opening handoff of the game, and that is a nice little running lane there. UTSA's defense cleared out of the middle, and Temple took advantage. 9-yard gain on first down. That'll bring up 2nd and 1. This defense has been stout all season. Last week was their first touchdown that they've given up, and that one a screen pass out to the flat. Coach Merritt having to be drugged back onto the sidelines. That'll be enough for a Temple first down. And it looks like UTSA might be pressing a little bit. The tackling was not necessarily crisp on that one. First down and 10 from the 36-yard line. Temple trying to match UTSA's opening touchdown drive. Read option, handoff goes to Ducker on the right side. Diving tacklers in front of him. Nice couple moves there, and that is going to be a back-to-back first downs. Ducker, last week, 40 yards on 14 carries. Obviously wants to be more productive for this offense and for this unit. 4 down front for the Roadrunners. Handoff to Ducker again, straight up the middle. Breaks the tackle from Tyan Milton, the safety. Able to be brought down before crossing first down yardage, but it's going to be 2nd down and 1 once again, this time from the Roadrunner 40. Defense trying to tighten up, keep this Temple offense off and out of the end zone. That one, nice tackle there for big number 97K and Robert Stay. 3rd down and 1. Double wing formation out of the shotgun for Temple. Simon takes the snap, handoff goes right side. He is stuffed behind the line. Ducker not able to get past Tyan Milton that time. Number 15 comes up from his safety spot, and he will, oh, excuse me. It looks like Temple is going to keep their offense out on the field. I thought Tyan Milton just ended the drive. 4th down and 2 from the Roadrunner 41. Temple wants to get some momentum here and getting it back. Handoff, Ducker. He slips a tackle in the backfield, and he is taken down by Vic Shaw, but not until he passes that first down marker. Temple will stay on the field. Good offensive series so far for the Owls. Read option once again, this time Kendrick Blackshire not letting it go anywhere. He makes the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Ducker will be dropped for a loss of 1. It'll be 2nd down and 11 with about 2:07 left in the first quarter. Tight end in the formation to the right. Motion from the slot receiver there. Oh my goodness, Ty Leonard. Unabated off the edge. Too much going on in the backfield that time from Temple. And that will be the first sack from the Southwest Sack Exchange. Big number 99, Ty Leonard. It wasn't just a sack, ladies and gentlemen. That was a you're going to feel me all game type of hit. That was the kind of physicality you need to bring to this game. Conference play is when you have to start upping the level of intensity, upping the level of physicality. 3rd down and 16. Simon looking to throw from the shotgun. He's going to be hit just as he releases. Ball goes deep, and that one is knocked away. Great pass coverage there from Shad Banks Sr. Shad Banks Jr., the senior linebacker. Class and name. Change the class and name. That punt going to hit at the 5 and bounce into the end zone, so we will get the 2nd offensive series from this UTSA offense, starting from the 20-yard line. As has become standard across the country, Mo Bamba blasting through the speakers. Temple trying to get behind their defense. Henry Jr. takes the handoff out of the pistol formation, and he sneaks up the left side numbers, able to gain a first down, already up to 36 yards rushing, and he had that receiving touchdown to open scoring. Number 13, McCown in the shotgun. Sends Amador the second in motion. He's going to get the pop pass there. Able to get the edge. He'll get forward for a nice little gain. 7 yards on the jet pass. It is behind the line of scrimmage, but since he's tossing it in front of him, it does go towards passing completion. So now McCown sits at 3 for 3 on the day, and they'll line up in a pistol formation on 2nd down. Good tackling in that second level of the Temple defense. Henry Jr. on the handoff, only able to gain 2 yards, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 1. Travis Scott in the background. Roadrunners line up in the shotgun, handoff. Robert Henry Jr., he's got an opening past midfield, and he's got a lot of space into Temple territory, down at the Temple 45-yard line. We did not see a running game get established. CSU was keen on big number 20, as now McCown out of the shotgun, looks to pass, intended for his tight end, Houston Thomas, and that one's going to be knocked away by the Temple linebacking core. We'll have an injury on the field and take a quick timeout here as well. 2nd and 10 from the 45. McCown with 1 touchdown on the day. Handoff goes to Robert Henry Jr. That's his 8th carry of the contest. 5-yard gain, so he cuts their yards to go in half. The link is starting to get loud. We haven't seen it affect this offense, and that is going to be the end of the first quarter. We thought UTSA was going to get another play in. We're going to head to the second quarter with the score. UTSA on the road, up 7-0. Robert Henry Jr. on 8 carries, 59 yards, 7.4 average, and he has the 1 receiving touchdown. This Temple defense trying to bounce back from giving up 52 the week before, using their crowd noise to their advantage. 3rd down and 5, shotgun pass going across the middle, and that's going to be complete for a first down. 12-yard gain on the play, and the Birds will continue this offensive series. Handoff to Robert Henry Jr. This one dives straight up the middle. Bounces off of his own blocker, but it actually ended up helping him there. Following big number 57, Ben Rios, junior offensive lineman, looking at possible All-American honors if we can keep this up. 10-yard gain, but it's going to be 2nd down in inches, and the UTSA offense is going to get stuffed in the backfield. Loss of about a half a yard, and now we get a 3rd and true 1. Temple showing pressure. McCown on the RPO decides to hand it off, and Temple too quick to get in the backfield. And now we're going to get a field goal attempt from Brock Chambers. This one will be from about 40 yards, and he pushed it too far to the right. The kicking game hasn't been utilized very much on the season, so not going to put all of the blame on Chambers there. He should be able to take care of his job. He handles all of the PATs. He has not been perfect like he has been on those on his field goals this season. 7-0 still to score. This one going to go to Ducker out of the backfield. Simon finding his fellow senior, and Jay Ducker on his first catch of the game gets 6 yards, bringing up 2nd down and 4 with under 4 minutes to go here in the first half. Simon trying to direct his offensive line for pass protection. He's going to have time, and he'll find a receiver over the middle. That's Antonio Jones, number 19, the senior receiver, will get enough for a first down, and Temple back on the move. 2 tight ends in the formation. Defensive line will shift over to the strength. Play action pass once again. And that's going to go to Jones 2 plays in a row. Back-to-back receptions for the senior receiver. And Temple just about at midfield. Ducker gets the handoff, and he's met and brought down, but he's still able to gain 6 yards. This defense not quite up to the standard that we've been expecting from them on the season so far. Speed option this time goes to the left. He'll pitch it out to Ducker. Simon makes a nice decision there, and he will get his offense the 3 yards they needed for a first down. Ducker up to 43 yards rushing on the day on 9 carries. You can see the fatigue in his body as he's lined up to the left of Simon. Blitz coming off the edge there. Simon never saw it, and we're going to get the 2nd sack of the game. That time helped out by Martin from his cornerback position, but Sirius Dumas, number 21 on the cornerback blitz. He ran Simon directly into big number 31, the edge rusher Shaw. Vic Shaw is known around the country, and especially around the Southwest, as a guy who will plant your quarterback in the face, and he just proved that to Evan Simon here. 4 defensive linemen in the formation. We got nickel coverage here from UTSA. Swing pass from Simon to Ducker. That one will only make it back to the line of scrimmage, and we now have a 3rd down and 16. So what started off as a promising drive is now in jeopardy of stalling out. From the midfield stripe, Temple trying to answer back, still down 7. Simon scanning, under pressure. He's hit right as he throws, and there's no way he was going to be able to guide that one. He was still digging turf out of his helmet by the time that ball landed. Big 3rd down stop from UTSA there, and now we have a chance to add on to this lead. punt will go out of bounds, so Mekhi Anderson, who has 2 punt return touchdowns on the season, still has yet to get a shot at a return in this game. From the 11, we have a read option this time for the UTSA. McCown keeps it, and he's able to find a nice little gain there, making a little bit more space for his offense, and JVR Morton for Temple is going to go down with an injury. 15 yards on the read option play, and we'll see. Actually, we'll obviously get a play because the clock stops with the injury timeout. McCown looking to throw out of the gun, finds DeCorian Clark along his sideline, and the tackle is made right in front of Coach Merritt. But the gain is 9, and the ball is now out to the 34-yard line. After starting from their 11, 2-minute timeout has been taken. We'll see if UTSA can put another touchdown up on the board. This offense still trying to find that rhythm that they had early on this season. That screen pass goes to Houston Thomas, big number 88, will get the first down yardage. And now let's see what Coach Merritt decides to do. Stacked receivers on both sides. DeCorian Clark gets the out route, taken down inbounds, but it looks like UTSA is going to take their time here. I don't think that they want to put their defense back out on the field if they can help it, because they will get the ball to start the second half. That pass over the middle to McEwen. Devin McEwen with his first catch of the day goes for 13 and yet another first down. Under 90 seconds to go before halftime. McCown to McEwen once again. First down on the slant pattern that time. Call it a gain of 12. And Owen McCown is sitting at 9 of 10 for 114 yards and a touchdown on the day. Bouncing back from his late game mistake, as now he finds Amador II inside the hole of the zone. Third catch for Amador II, number 18, sophomore slot receiver. After a big showing last weekend, defenses are going to have to start paying attention to him. Lefty quarterback looking. Amador II once again. JVR Morton still not quite over that injury, so he's going to be helped off the field, and the clock will stop with 59 seconds. And second and inches. Second and inches. Got to pay the umpire tax, ladies and gentlemen. On the double. Temple looking to steal some momentum if they can get a stop here. Robert Henry Jr. handoff up the middle. Gains the first down, but not able to get into the end zone. And Temple will call a timeout to try and save some time for their offense. First and goal, handoff. Henry Jr. stuffed at the line of scrimmage once again. Not quite sure what the offensive line is looking at there, and it seems like they're starting to fall apart a little bit in the huddle. You'd like to see some leadership out of possible All-American 57 Ben Rios in the middle. Another handoff attempt. That one stuffed up and lost yardage. A loss of 2 on second and goal. And now we're staring at a real possibility of UTSA only leaving this first half with 7 points. Possible 4-down territory if this one doesn't go well. McCown to pass. McEwen on the slant pattern into the end zone. Touchdown, Roadrunners. McEwen dancing in the end zone. He finds the end zone in yet another game this season. Guy who's been here since his college career started, battled through injury, became a team captain over the offseason, and he is putting up productive numbers from that wide receiver 1 position. McCown with his second touchdown pass of the day. He's now 12 of 13 for 141 yards in this first half. PAT nearly blocked, but Chambers able to bounce back from a missed field goal. That drive, 12 plays, 91 yards. That scoring drive once again brought to you by the Far End of the Bench podcast with Jimmy Pilato and Nico Bryant. Check them out on all podcasting platforms as well as this YouTube channel every Thursday for all of your sports talk needs. Kickoff is going to land at the 5. The return, we're going to able to be past the 20 out to the 22-yard line. 31 seconds. Temple has tried to take momentum a couple times in this game, but all the times that they've been able to get close, they've gone backwards The Southwest Sack Exchange living up to their name here, as Simon had a wide receiver beat his defensive back, but he just put too much zip on that thing and it went about 10 feet over his receiver's head. And you can tell he's frustrated. He has not been able to find a rhythm since their last game, and then obviously they're coming off of a bye into this matchup. Still trying to find their first victory. 27 seconds remaining. Ducker lined up in the shotgun. He takes the handoff, shakes the guy out of his shoes. Oh, he juked Kendrick Blackshire. Blackshire able to recover and make the tackle, but Blackshire was about to have a reference of his jockstrap being laid out on the field. That was a nice move from the senior running back. Now Simon buying some time in the pocket, and he'll find a receiver open with enough yardage for a first down. No timeouts, so they were able to get out of bounds. Now they have pretty much one shot if they can't get out of bounds to see if they can throw it to the end zone. Simon's going to check it down, and his running back not going to get the first down yardage, and that will be the end of the first half. Here in Lincoln Financial Field, the undefeated Roadrunners opening up conference play, leading the Temple Owls 14-0. Robert Henry Jr., 1 touchdown receiving, 68 yards rushing on 14 carries, averaging about 5 yards a carry. Big bounce back performance from him after sealing the victory. Obviously, count with 2 passing touchdowns, 1 to Henry Jr., 1 to Devin McEwen. No turnovers from either side, but you can tell the trenches are where this thing has been won. Outside of a few pretty solid runs, the running game non-existent for Temple. The passing game has been up and down, not able to find any kind of a rhythm. Temple will have the ball to start the second half, so I was mistaken when I said that UTSA would be getting the ball back. They will be giving it back to the Owls, and this one will land at the 4-yard line, and the second half is underway here in Pennsylvania. Knocked down by his own man that time, trying to pick up a block for the returner, only able to make it out to the 15-yard line. Simon going to have 1 receiver, or 3 receivers and 1 tight end in the formation alongside his fellow senior in the backfield, Ducker, who will get the first handoff of the second half. And he'll find about 4 yards off the right edge. 2nd and 6. Trying to make some signal changes here. Simon going to hand it off again to Ducker. He's held up by Shad Banks Jr. David Martin, cornerback number 31, is going to be down in the secondary, and that is going to stop the clock, and we will get an injury timeout on the field. On the set. 3rd down and 5 on the opening series of the second half. 4 defensive linemen coming into pressure for UTSA. Simon pushed out of the pocket from big number 99, Ty Leonard. He remembers that hit he took in the first quarter, and he doesn't want any part of that moving forward. We're getting a report now from the sideline. David Martin out with bruised ribs. We'll see if he's able to return a little bit later on in this one. 4th down and 5, and we get the 3rd punt of the afternoon, and Mekhi Anderson will get his first chance at a punt return. Trying to make it out to midfield. He'll be stopped just about 2 yards short at the 48. And now McCown, after orchestrating his 2nd touchdown drive of the game, last time UTSA had the ball, the Birds are back on offense. Henry Jr. on his 15th carry of the game, he will get out for 5 yards, making it 2nd down and 5, 73 yards on the ground so far. No rushing touchdowns, but he does have the 1 receiving touchdown. He is a do-it-all guy. He's been here for a long time. He's the guard dog of this team, and the heart and soul is now he'll get the handoff on the RPO play. He's chased down from behind. Davis, number 10. Nice effort on that play to chase down the running back. McCown out of the shotgun, looking, fires. He finds DeCorian Clark, but he's going to be brought down about a yard short. Now Coach Clay Merritt has a decision to make, and it looks like he's going to keep the offense out on the field. He feels like a 3-score lead is going to be comfortable and walk away with back-to-back road victories as that one floated up in the air. McEwen goes up and gets it! 4th catch of the day for Devin McEwen. I think he got held up by his own receiver, but he was able to go up and grab that thing from about 6 feet out of the air. McCown now trying to follow that one up. doesn't get out of the pocket. And after what seemed like the most chaotic play of the season, where McEwen just has to go up and beat his cornerback, now we have McCown not rolling out of the pocket and throwing it out of bounds for intentional grounding. Decent play and now a bad situation. 2nd down and 20 after the loss of down from the grounding penalty. McCown under heat, and he is smacked as soon as he let that ball go. After a big 4th down conversion, now we're staring at 3rd down and 20 and the possibility of no points for the 2nd time this afternoon. McCown fires, finds McEwen. He's able to get a few yards back, so now we'll see if they're going to send out Chambers for his 2nd field goal attempt of the day. He was inaccurate earlier, but that was from the hash mark. This one straight down the middle, nearly blocked, and it's going to fall just short. Not just short. Trying to be nice. We'll say that fell about 8 yards short. Kicking game is going to need to be evaluated. That was nearly a roughing the kicker penalty, so there is a little bit of a strategy, even if you know your kicker doesn't quite have the leg. If you can entice the team on the block to hit your kicker, you get the free 1st down, as we're going to see an empty formation from Temple on this series. Starting from their own 31-yard line, best starting field position for their offense today. Pop pass goes to the left side there. Broken tackle. That is Martin back in the game from his bruised ribs, but you can tell he's still harboring some pain, and he was unable to bring down the receiver as he was the first one to get there. 3-yard gain on the pop pass. 2nd down and 7. 14-0 is the lead for the Roadrunners. Pressure coming up the middle, and that's going to be a sack. Kendrick Blackshire, number 10. First sack of the game for Kendrick Blackshire. First sack of the last 3 games after opening up the season with 4 in the first 2. That is a huge situation. Offensive line never read the blitz coming. And that is what helps having two senior linebackers to rule the middle of the field. Simon still unable to get into a rhythm. 3rd down and 14 for the Owls. Buying some time in the pocket, he'll check it down to Ducker, but he's unable to hold on to that one along the sidelines. Big hit, knocks the ball free. And 4th down and 14, we're going to get the 4th punt of the afternoon for Temple. Anderson will get it at his 35. Goes straight ahead for about 13, so the offense will start from the 48-yard line. After going backwards from the penalty, let's see if McCown can resettle himself and practice what his coach preaches. Coach Merritt looking for some security in this 3rd quarter. 2:04 to play, handoff on the inside zone to Henry Jr. 17th carry for him. That matches his season high on the year, and it's only the 3rd quarter. Under 2 to play in the 3rd quarter, so we are getting into crunch time. Let's see what this offense can do. UTSA looking to make statements and try and prove themselves. Read option, Owen McCown with an opening on the right side. He'll make it down to the 21-yard line. Big scramble there on the read option play. McCown's sneaky athletic. If you forget about his running ability, he can make a pay just like that. Temple fell asleep. Tried to go too far onto Josh Henry Jr. Robert Henry Jr. I swear I know what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. It's just a long way. 94.3 The Bird, Frankie Calderon here, listening to UTSA football on the Far End of the Bench YouTube channel as well. Robert Henry Jr. gets the handoff there at the 20, and he'll make it down to about the 15-yard line. 2nd down and 5. Play action fake out of the pistol. Into the middle of the field, and that time McEwen and McCown were not on the same page. That pass near the dotted center Ben Rios right in the face. 3rd and 5 upcoming. Over the middle, and DeCorian Clark unable to corral it. So we'll see if Merritt sends his offense out for yet another 4th down attempt. They were able to make the amazing play to McEwen on the last one. They will have another one here. Houston Thomas open right down the middle of the field, into the end zone. Touchdown, Roadrunners. Like a dog chasing a bone. Houston Thomas with 5 catches last week, nearly 100 yards in his junior season, trying to make a name for himself. There's going to be a lot of questions towards the latter half of the year, whether or not he's going to stay around, whether it be transfer portal. He is draft eligible this season, so if he looks good enough, we might see him move on to the next level. He obviously has the size. That is one position room. If you've been paying attention to the roster for the UT San Antonio Roadrunners, they are loaded at the tight end position. Houston Thomas being a big factor of that. That kickoff going to land at the 1-yard line. Nice little juke move there to make it out to the 19. UTSA's kickoff team very good at forcing returns and then also covering those returns. So offenses very rarely start past the 20, and that has been the case once again here for Temple. Final minute of the third quarter. We're going to get a screen pass to start the series. And we get a spin out of a tackle. Another broken tackle. Takes what was a 2-yard behind the line pass and makes it all the way out to the 40 from your own 14. What a play from Temple there. The defense not going to be happy with that one. He's now Ducker on the counter. Tried to make a couple guys miss, but he's able to be corralled quickly. Second down and 6 after the 4-yard carry. 11 personnel for Temple. Evan Simon looking for the snap with the clock rolling. Slot goes in motion. We're going to get double play fake here and now set up a screen to Ducker on the right side. That one stuffed out by Shad Banks Jr. Redshirt senior, captain, middle linebacker, big number 17. He's not allowing Ducker to go anywhere, and Ducker's now going to come up with a little bit of an injury bug there. Third down and 6. This Temple crowd has become non-existent following that most recent touchdown. Under pressure. Oh, receiver goes up and tries to make a diving, circling, acrobatic catch, but the contact too much. 4th and 6, and we're going to get punt number 5. Let's see what Mekhi Anderson can do with this one. The sophomore from his 14-yard line, trying to snake his way up the hash mark. He'll make it about 11 yards forward to the 25. 5 seconds remaining, so we'll have enough time for one play here, and then we'll be on to the final frame of this one. Defense has been stout. 0 points given up. This would be the 3rd shutout if they are able to seal this one, as that handoff only good for about 2, and that is going to bring us to the end of the 3rd quarter. 21-0 your score here on 94.3 The Bird and the Far End of the Bench YouTube channel. We've had 3 scoring drives. McCown has been spreading the wealth to all of his receivers. As a reminder, our broadcast here tonight presented by the Far End of the Bench podcast with Jimmy Pilato and Nico Bryant. If you are missing sports commentary in your life between 2 best friends, you need to check out the Far End of the Bench podcast on Thursdays on YouTube and any other podcasting platform. Very proud to be affiliated with them, as now Henry Jr. makes a nice move in the middle of the field. 20th carry, and now we're up over 100 yards rushing for the 6th-year senior. 2 running backs in the formation for the Roadrunners. Henry Jr. goes in motion, and that's going to be a handoff to the other senior running back, John Emery Jr., number 27, and that's only going to be about a gain of 1. We've seen very successful 5-minute situations from this offense, keeping the ball away from their opponent. Obviously, this is a situation where McCown threw the pick 6 last week. Henry Jr. making a little bit more of a presence on this 4-minute drill. 21st carry of the game, 117 yards on the day, 1 rushing touchdown, and a receiving touchdown. Houston Thomas lined up in the slot with 3 receivers out to the right. Thomas will go in motion here. McCown, handoff, going to the left side. Henry Jr. with nice space, able to make it up the left hash mark. You can tell this game has taken a toll on his body. That's his 22nd carry of the game. But he has been a much bigger factor in how this one has gone. Not as much drama as we saw last week in Fort Collins here from Philadelphia, as Thomas gets a screen pass once again, and he has nice first down yardage there. Turns upfield. Unfortunately, looks like he's going to come up and have a little bit of pain to deal with, but that is a nice first down play to the big tight end. McCown still sharp into this second half. Clock stops with the injury timeout. Now we will see the Roadrunners 1st and 10 from their own 12-yard line. Handoff. Henry Jr. to the right side. That one not going for much, only about a 2-yard gain. Lots of defensive linemen in the formation for Temple. Handoff. Henry Jr. up the middle. He's trying to get to that first down marker, but he's stopped just short, and we're going to get yet another injury timeout, as we've seen as a trend in these games. As soon as the fourth quarter rolls around, you'll start to see cramps, you start to see bruises, you start to see players, some might say making business decisions. I like to say that they just realized, their day is done. Read option this time from McCown. He's into the end zone, up the middle of the field. Touchdown, Roadrunners. Junior quarterback Owen McCown putting an exclamation point on his performance. Johnny Unitas Golden Arm possible recipient towards the end of the season. 3rd rushing attempt, 37 yards, and his 1st rushing touchdown. That will be his 4th touchdown of this game. Extra point by Chambers is good. 76-yard, 9-play drive. That scoring drive once again presented by the Far End of the Bench podcast. Make sure you follow at FEOTB Pod and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Chambers puts this one to the goal line, and we're going to get a kickoff return once again. This one's good for 17, and that is where the Temple Owls offense will set up shop. Lincoln Financial Field's DJ is still going strong, but the crowd is almost all but left, as we're going to get a double tight end formation to the left, motion going that way as well, but everything goes back the opposite way, and Ducker, nice open field tackle that time. Ducker's going to be injured. Good play design from Temple. I like the way that everything was going towards the left, and then you get the handoff going back to your All-American redshirt senior running back Jay Ducker to the right. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to be in the game for this play. And we'll see what his injury status is moving forward. Handoff now to the backup running back, number 25, Terez Worthy, also a senior for this Temple squad. That's going to bring us to the 2-minute timeout, and Temple is staring up at a 28-0 deficit. Might possibly be the 3rd complete shutout of this defense's season for UT San Antonio. Clay Merritt has to be excited about that. Tight end in a wing formation to the left. Twins also out that way. Ducker back into the game. He breaks the tackle with a nice stiff arm and able to make it to his 45-yard line. Temple is still playing with a lot of pride. They don't want to be kept off the scoreboard in front of their home fans. This is a lot of seats to be left scoreless to. Screen pass set up to Ducker to the left side. That one, it will be handled fairly quickly. 2-yard gain, making it 2nd down and 8 with 1:38 left to play. Handoff to Ducker on the right side. Blackshire and Shad Banks Jr. able to make the big stop. Still have yet to see Kane Roberts-Day, the nation's sack leader with 7, to get to the quarterback, as now Simon throws under pressure. That one is going to be complete out to Antonio Jones. 3rd catch of the day for number 19 Jones for 32 yards. But like we've seen so far this season from this 0-4 Temple team, is now Shad Banks Jr. into the backfield with a big sack. Number 17, team captain. I don't know how you lose that man on defense. That is a big middle linebacker, and you have to know he's coming after your quarterback in these kind of situations. Both middle linebackers record a sack in this one. The Southwest Sack Exchange is for a back-to-back jack. Under a minute and counting left to play. 2nd down and 18 for the Owls. Ooh, nice little pass to the tight end. That time Shad Banks Jr. got beat in pass coverage. That's good enough for a 1st down. What do I know? I'm just the announcer. Maybe the announcer shouldn't talk smack as he's trying to call a game. Simon looking to throw, and he finds a receiver. There was a man in the area, but obviously he had no idea what he was doing. I believe that's number 44, Ty Leonard, dropping back into coverage from his normal pass rushing position. Under 30 seconds and counting. 2nd down and 1. Simon scrambling, trying to buy time. He's going to be brought down for a sack. 5th one of the game. This time, junior lineman, defensive tackle Cameron Blaylock. Sophomore lineman, excuse me. I aged him an entire year. I feel so badly. Under 10 seconds. This will probably be the final attempt. Going towards the end zone. Tip intercepted in the end zone. Number 15, Tyan Milton, trying to return, seeing what he can do. That is going to bring us to the end of regulation. We have another Birds victory. UTSA comes into Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, pulls off the shutout in their conference opener. 7 touchdown per quarter. Owen McCown, 4 touchdowns on the day, 207 yards passing. I believe he only had 2 incompletions in the entire afternoon. Robert Henry Jr. with a receiving touchdown, over 100 yards on the ground with 20-plus carries. Offensively, defensively, we are back to business, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to send it back to the Far End of the Bench studios with Jimmy Pilato. Thank you very much for tuning in to 94.3 The Bird with myself, Frankie, the Horn Calderon. Wow, what a bounce-back performance. Like I was saying, the Rise of the Roadrunners series is not going to be always up. It's not going to be always down. You're going to have to overcome things. You're going to be tested. Conference schedule is physical. Some injuries today. We'll see if Houston Thomas is going to be out long-term. He wasn't able to finish the game after only 1 receiving touchdown and then obviously going down a little bit later on in that one. But don't we feel so much better? No pick sixes, no turnovers at all on our side. We get the interception to seal the game from Tyan Milton, who had a hell of a performance, both in the run games coming up, making tackles on Jay Ducker. I will make sure to give a shout-out to Temple's offense. Jay Ducker deserves to be in the conversation of one of the top running backs in this conference. We'll see what happens with the Temple Owls for the rest of the season, but obviously it's been probably about as bad of a start as they could have possibly imagined for themselves. We're very proud to have been picked to host this series. UTSA could have chosen any podcast, any podcasters to work with them in trying to tell this story. We want to bring you this story because college football is not just about what happens on the field. It's about knowing the players who are behind it, knowing the coaches who try and mold these young men into future stars, whether it's at the next level or whether it's just in life, because that's what a coach truly and ultimately does. You try and lead these people as best as you can for as long as you can, and you may never see the dividends of that play out, but if you do everything that you possibly can for them, you will be able to accomplish great things. And right now, Clay Merritt is sitting at 4-0, second time in program history that UTSA has been 4-0 since Coach Coker in the inaugural Division I season, and 1-0 in conference play right now. It's all about the American Championship. You make the American Championship, you make the national committee put you on the national playoff schedule. Big games. We'll talk about it. Make sure you check out the blog recap on feotbpod.org. Make sure that you follow, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Tell your friends if the things aren't going the way that you want them to in your college football season. Why not come join us on the Rise of the Roadrunner series? For myself, Jimmy Pilato, 94.3 The Bird, Far End of the Bench YouTube channel, Frankie, the Horn Calderon on the call there. We will see you guys next week on the Rise of the Roadrunner series.
If you don't stay down and you never quit, come on over here and sit on the far end of the bench.